Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So today is Jan 14th, and let's go ahead get started. For today, I'm here in Bangalore. I'm bringing this to you after just having finished my morning workout. So today's dose of Rashmi is unconscious intelligence makes the basic choices of life based on the compulsive needs. Wisdom, on the other hand, is having the clarity of making conscious choices aligned with your higher order needs and then get focused on intentional actions to realize that. As I had arrived on this dose of Rashmi based on my usual morning practice, this took me back to something that I've shared earlier. It is this concept that I picked up from one of Gary Zukov's book about approaching every situation in life with either love and trust or fear and doubt. So when we are operating basic needs level, we are naturally wired for flight or fight type syndrome. And in that case, fear and doubt take center stage. And we approach situations in life with fear and doubt. And that is how we make the choices which define whether it is the career that we pursue, the relationships that we pursue. It is all to satisfy that. However, when you take a pause and get in touch with your whole self, you will have the ability to make conscious choices. The basic choices, basic decisions that you will make in the life will not just be out of fear and doubt, they'll be out of love and trust and aligned with your higher order needs. Of course, I'm not saying that you sacrifice your basic needs. Security, safety, all of that is very important. So, certainly do what is needed for that. However, make decisions from a fully aligned being perspective. And when you make those decisions, they'll naturally be from love and trust, and you won't feel any conflict. What ends up typically happening is we make these basic choices based on fear and doubt and based on our basic compulsive needs. And then there is a longing for something higher, which doesn't get satisfied. And we all feel this conflict. And that conflict is what then creates all kinds of health issues. I have a personal lived example of that, as most of you know, and this has become clear. So, this is the clarity in wisdom led operating model, whether you are operating as an individual or as an organization, having that clarity is paramount. Now, turning to real wisdom artificial intelligence, as it so happened, an interaction with my AI co pilots yesterday gave me an opportunity to see this in action. I am working on a project with some collaborators on trying to develop an app which is going to connect people through basic, simple meditation practice. As we were brainstorming about ways to develop it, I realized my nephew is a grad student in Northeastern University, a perfect candidate to go ahead get this app developed. So I sent the idea across to him and asked him for a proposal on what he could do to develop the app. He came up with a very, very comprehensive proposal. I was extremely proud of the work that he did. I reviewed it, I was impressed, and I then engaged my AI co pilots to review it along with me. As they reviewed it, their first predominant reaction, while there were lots of extremely great points, and I'll get to that. The first predominant reaction was that, okay, he's a grad student and uh, try to reduce the scope, try to make it such that he is not taking too much on in trying to do what he's trying to do. The proposal was very well thought out, and of course, there was certain scope creep. However, the intelligence that's programmed in AI is a reflection of our collective compulsive reactions. So naturally, the first reaction is fear and doubt and protect. It is about protect the bandwidth for my nephew. From that perspective, it provided a lot of feedback. And my intention with throwing him into this mix was this is the type of experience that he is not going to get anywhere else. He can, of course, do an internship co op somewhere else. However, being able to develop this app completely all by himself as a co op experience while pursuing studies with almost no real supervision because the rest of us are just going to provide high level guidance, and he pretty much gets to build this on his own. And from that perspective, I want him to stretch as much as he can. So I really enjoyed that part of his proposal. So that was the difference that I could feel when you operate out of basic compulsive needs. Your tendency is to protect. However, when you get in touch with your whole brain, you will do protect, plan, explore, and connect and approach every situation with love and trust. Of course, my AI co-pilots have been absorbing all of this every day. So the other part of the feedback, which was amazing to see this come from AI, and that confirms the belief that AI is a mirror of our conscience that we are feeding into the mirror. It came back with realizing that, okay, this is an app where there'll be human to human connection in terms of design elements, as well as chasing some of the vanity metrics, because we are trying to gamify the experience of the meditation. And my nephew did have some points related to that. So they came up with the conscious design guideline, which my AI co-pilots produced, so that it is true to the Rashmi lens and the real wisdom that we are trying to propagate through the development of this app. So hope that makes sense, both in terms of approaching every situation with love and trust and some of the lived examples with AI. Thank you.